Okay, it's got a great thread going at the moment about, various cleaning methods and various chemistries. And I keep talking about my chems, but I've never actually made a proper video about my chems, so I thought I might do that today. So, first thing I want to show you is my dry foam shampoo. Now, I use this one on wool, and it's Kirby Suds, right? It's made by Scot Labs. It's actually made by the same company that makes these Scott's Tough chemicals. It's just branded differently. Scot Labs is a wholly owned subsidiary of Scott Fetzer, hence the Scott. And the Scott Fetzer company also owns Kirby. And about 9 years ago or so, Scot Labs was put under the control of Kirby. So it makes pretty well all of Kirby's chemicals, everything from their glass cleaner to their dry foam shampoo. And as a consequence of that, their dry foam shampoo tends to have pretty good encapsulation features because Scot Labs may or may not, in accordance with their claims, have invented encapsulation chemistry way back when. So this is what I use on wool. It's got a pH of 6. I also use it on woolen blends. I will sometimes use it encapsulation only, though most of the time I work it into the carpet with either the single disc machine that we've got with the shower feed, or sometimes with the Sebo Duo P and a pump-up sprayer. And I mix it at a ratio of 1:16, right, which works quite well for me. And it hasn't ever burnt anything. That's why I stick with it. It is a consumer level product, but because of the heritage of the product and because the company that makes it also makes professional products, it really does sort of work quite well in a professional setting. So I use that one for wool and wool blends or anything like cotton that I'm not sure about. Okay, when I've got synthetic carpet though, I'll use this. This is my pre-spray, and it's PowerMax LVC, and it says there that it's a pre-spray, and this is actually an extraction product, but it's an encapsulating extraction product. And I know that confuses sometimes. I apologise about that. I do try and explain it. It gets a bit tricky though. Basically, it is intended to be removed via hot water extraction. It's not meant to be left behind its entirety, but it does have encapsulating polymers in it so that anything that does get left behind doesn't contribute to wicking and resoiling. And so far, with my limited recovery equipment, it's helped me dodge a few bullets by having the encapsulation features in it. When I use a product, I will rinse it with this in the machine. You guys all use acid rinses. This is an encapsulating acid rinse, right? And you can see there it says extraction on it, and you've got your picture of your floor wand there. So it's definitely an extraction product. These are not just encapsulation products. That's what's so unique about them. They are encapsulating hot water extraction products. This one here is a bit similar to what I gather Pro's Choice's molecular modifier type thing is. It's scented, but what it actually does is it alters the molecular structure of smelly things that it comes into physical contact with, and basically makes them too heavy to float in the atmosphere, so you can't smell them anymore. I use this on urine jobs sometimes, and on urine jobs I'll actually use this product first. This is OxyShot by Scot Labs, and again it's another encapsulating product, and it's basically an encapsulating hydrogen peroxide surfactant blend. It doesn't use an alkaline salt like sodium percarbonate or sodium perborate to make or to generate hydrogen peroxide in solution. Instead, it actually contains stabilized peroxide. It's an acid, and it's not buffered. It's actually an acid. So what that means is it's got an acid surfactant package in it, and it's got the hydrogen peroxide in it, and it's got the polymer crystal technology in it, so I can apply it to urine spots, and it will both eliminate the salts and immediately go to work on oxidizing the worst of the organic matter in it as well. And it does it in one step, so I don't have to use, multiple, like I don't have to rely on my acid rinse first to rinse the salt crystals away. And it works quite well, and all of these products have the same encapsulation technology, so They're all peers, they've all been tested together. This is my citrus product, another encapsulating product. This one can actually be used, as can the oxygen product, in either low moisture cleaning, so I can mix it with the Kirby suds and use it just as an encapsulating cleaner, or I can mix it with any of these hot water extraction other pre-treatments as well, or I can use it neat to spot things. It has an alkaline pH, and it has surfactants in it and a pretty generous slug of D-limonene. And between all of these things and one other product which I don't have pictured, which is basically the alkaline emulsifier, alternative to this product. No, where are we? To this product that does our acid rinsing. Well, I have an alkaline emulsifier rinse called Prime Time, and it's also a hot water extraction sort of rinse. So depending upon the nature of the job, between all of these things, these are the family of chems I use. I try not to mix and match too many different chems. I like to use chems from a family, and of course because of the nature of the Kirby product being manufactured by the same company that does these, they're all chemical peers. They've all been tested together. And so more or less that's the package of stuff that I use. Look, when I first set up, I did have some Australian chems made by a company called Agar, and I was using those just while I waited for these chems to arrive, and there's just no comparison. These chems blow the Agar products out of the water. I mean, the silly thing about it is the Agar dry foam shampoo product I was using before this stuff arrived was mixed at 1:10, and it was sold as a professional product. This is a consumer product, and you mix it at 1:16, so it gives you an idea of why, you know, I might even bother using a consumer product in a professional setting, because simply it's just got the concentration and the encapsulation features that justify it. So I'd love to know more about what you guys use, but I hadn't previously fleshed out my chemical choices before and what they actually mean. And I gather that while other companies do it, this using encapsulating hot water extraction treatments is kind of a bit of a new area, where chiefly in times gone by they were regarded as separate chemistries. You know, encapsulation was solely for low moisture cleaning and standard surfactants were used in hot water extraction. Now some companies like Scot Labs are combining the chemistries and merits of hot water extraction and encapsulation together, and it does work quite well. I would encourage anyone to try it, whether you use, you know, your Bridgepoint Encapsuclean product, which I've read you can also use as a hot water extraction pre-spray. I would definitely, if you hadn't tried it before, give encapsulating treatments a try in your hot water extraction work.